I'm going to pick people under 2,000 in my first symbol. Sorry, because like I'm already murdered on my own symbol. Chess World took on too many strong players. Okay. Six. Six. I might go. If I go for 10, I'm going to go crazy, aren't I? Seven, 8. If it's under 2,000, though, maybe I be okay. 8. Maybe 8's a good start. Maybe not too many. Okay, let's start here. Okay. I think Soze's pretty good. I think he was giving me a very good game the other day. So 15-second increment. So the classic occupation in the centre. Alright, more interesting, knight c6. Hypermodern, knight f6. Classical d5. Okay, now what's happening here? I can see these boards over here. So this is 15 minutes with 15-second increments. Oh, I see it is actually my move here, funny enough. Have I messed up the preview screen? I just wondered. That should be okay, I hope. Right, if I take that, let's see, so Queen's Gambit declined or something. I have a little gambit here, French defense. Oh, that'll be interesting. Okay, Albin counter gambit, okay, I'll take that. Yeah. Can I now how to get back the pawn? Do I make it a gambit, or do I try and get back the pawn with e3? So e3, you can imagine something like this. I think I'm going to just try and get back the pawn here. I'll play a Tarrasch against the French. Tarrasch against the French here. I'll play d5 as a sort of gambit here, with the idea of knight e5. I've got queen d4. Okay, Albin counter gambit. So I want to play queen d4. So this is like Rogozin system. So Tarrasch advanced in the centre, and this is Grunfeldy. Okay, now here, actually I looked up Kasparov against the Tarrasch defense recently, and actually one of his top used systems seemed to be the Tarrasch with constructing a nice, pawn center. So I'm gonna try this nice pawn center. Okay, here e4. I like the space advantage there. Now white's trying to cling on to his pawn, so could it be like punishment time, you know, on this diagonal? Or if I undermine with a4, how hard does black try to keep the pawn there? Okay, so black castling there. If I played e3 or queen c2, these are like routine looking moves, but if with queen c2 I might, you know, castle queenside. With e3 I might just keep it position. I think I'll try and keep it positional. Right, so I think I'm going to have that pawn center in both of these tarashes that follow on from each other. Alright, g3. I'm going to try and chase this knight with h4, h5. If I try h4 or bishop, I don't think bishop e5 does anything. Try h4 to see where the knight's going. What is he playing? Right, now this pawn could be weak later. If I just do this pawn's kind of weak. Reinforce the center. And I'm going to use the knights like this on e2 and f3. Right, I'm getting back my pawn there. That looks okay. Yeah, e5 is a good move there. Alright, so, yes, queen. What does my queen want to be? Oh, maybe on c4. If I take back the pawn, I could just take back the pawn. If I take back the pawn, right, I'm putting my knights here and here, no, here and here, for protecting d4 here. It's a known idea. Yep. Bishop, if I attack the queen, try and provoke weakness, or I can try and keep it a bit more solid, maybe bishop e3. Alright, I've got a nice pawn chain in the center. Okay, now this one with queen b6, yeah. Right, I'll put the queen here, keep hold of d5. Keep it symmetrical but with a space advantage. Right, there's a little trap line here. I wonder if he knows it. I'm going to test the little trap line. This is a naughty trap. Queen b3. Naughty but nice. Keep trying to pre-move. Alright, his queen's going to come over here, yeah? So I could kick that immediately. Alright, so bishop b5 or knight e5. Knight e5 looks interesting. D takes might be interesting. b3 looks interesting to put the bishop on this diagonal because the bishop's not actually doing much. On the other hand, e4 he takes on d4. Yeah, okay. Swings and roundabouts. D5 here, or D5 looks tempting to gain some space. I'm threatened with this pawn loss. Yeah, okay. Bishop d3, is that terrible? It might be c5 there. Put the bishop on here. Okay. Yeah, that's active for black. But I'm wondering if I give up that bishop to play for f4, f5 later. Okay, so if I put the bishop there, that looks nice. Oh, now I'm going to have to be careful I'm not losing a pawn. If I castle taking, I'm going to be losing a pawn. So in fact, what is the move here? This looks a bit tricky. Maybe I'll just take on f6 now. Alright, now this looks nice, or rook c1 or knight e5. They all look pretty nice. Maybe knight e5. If knight d7, knight c6. Alright, if I pin this guy, or virtually pinning the guy, one of the knights. Right, the naughty little trick here is castling. I'll reveal that if he plays bishop h3. Let's keep an eye on h7 here. Double the pawns, that looks pretty good. The double the pawns here. Just in principle, doubling the pawns should slow black down a bit, and I'm giving up my dark square bishop. Can I take with? I'll take with the f. I'll take with the f1 here. Aha. Okay. Play like this. And I'll put this back so it's still eyeing h7. Let's get the king out of this diagonal. If I have a nice blockade on the light squares here. Right, what happens here if I play crudely with f4, just, you know, to get this? Is that worth it? Or rook c1, maybe more positional. This knight's also a bit of a miserable. I'll be blocking this knight. The knight goes over here. I could move the rook like this, rather like this. Then knight c1, just to keep the lock on that. Let's not spend too much time here. I'll do this. Isn't there a Greek gift? Takes, check. Isn't that dangerous? I wonder. And check 5. I think there might be. It needs a bit of calculation. It's not. I'm so tempted. Oh, Greek gift there. Am I losing a pawn here? I'm hoping this doesn't lose a pawn. Oh. Let's develop. Alright, bishop h3 there. So e6. C5 is tempting, maybe, for this c file. Knight e5 might be possible, because d4's okay for a moment. Now, yeah, this knight, I'm wondering. Yeah, black's pretty solid. Okay. I think f4 is tempting. Just to reinforce. Okay, the Greek gift. I wonder how well it's working, or if it's not. That blocks in the bishop, positionally. blocks in my bishop as well. Might not be so clever. I think I'm going to end up losing every game at this rate. They don't look good, the positions. Oh, okay, let's see. I'll try and... I'm asking for a sacrifice there, aren't I? Alright, this looks really dangerous. Okay. Knight d6 check. Doesn't that win material here? It blocks. You know, if bishop takes, then I just take the queen. If rook takes, I take here. Doesn't knight d6 win material? It looks as though knight d6 wins material. I think I'm tempted. Alright, so knight h4. I'm not doing it. He's got no weaknesses. Let's just roll with that for a bit longer. Hold on a sec. Let's see what he's doing. If I move my king up here. So my okay, if I play this, try and reinforce d4 later. Now f5 is looking really tempting. If queen e4, I think I've got rook f4. So f5, like, you know, this structure here looks to be under attack. I'll stop knight b4. Is it worth it? The knight from there is not doing too much, but the knight here is a pain. Stop that pain for a moment. Now if I take here, I want to swing this rook. So if I take on f7, it was also knight e6 though, so that's very tempting. Alright, now my queen is kind of... I can attack that f6. Or I can take b7. I'll put the queen here. Right, there's knight takes e6, hitting the queen and g7. What would he do there? I can't see a forcing killer move for black at this moment, so... Alright, so here, b5 is a plan. This e file is a plan for me to try and dominate. Okay, now the queen's coming off. I'm not sure I mind that because I'm trying to get the c file. I've got the space. Okay, that's good for this. Unless this is a loose rook to exploit, I can't see an immediate thing. I can back the rook up on queen e4. I can back it up. Yeah, targets. I haven't got any pawn breaks here. This is annoying. And black's pretty solid, so for the moment this knight on the rim dim, just looking at g6. If I can just e-file stop knight c4 here, and this is a tactic. I'll stop knight c4. I don't like knight c4 coming into e3. It's worth the dark square weaknesses. Okay, this is winning an exchange. So ed I'll take here. Alright, he's on e2. I'll let this pawn here. Queen f7 threatens mate. So he takes there. And then what? There's things like knight h4. Check. I think that c file is good to open if he's going to play c takes. I think queen f7 looks good. That's mate. Okay. Okay, I managed to win one game. That's amazing. So b3. If I keep the structure intact. This diagonal. It's a mystery. What about just playing this? Or f4. Okay, I can offer f4 up. Right, now I want to clamp with like this, clamp the position down a bit. Like d4, there's bishop e3, there's knight potentially that goes back here. Bishop e3, there's bishop h5 coming up. Maybe h3 for g4. Right, okay. There's weakening, more weaknesses on the cards. I'll take here. Right, so knight, or the c-file. C-file looks too tempting. Gonna try and fight that c-file. Right, this diagonal looks a bit weakened by that. I'll reinforce this for a moment. Aha. Alright, okay. Actually, taking and then f7. Why isn't that? With bishop f7. Then there's knight g6 and that looks good to take and then bishop f7, doesn't it? Alright, so now, okay, knight, where can my knight go? Over here. Alright, so I wonder knight f4 gives me knight g5. Alright, it's defended the mate threat. I can make him, well, defend it again. Might as well for a moment. Or is that terrible? Bishop g5. Play rook c1. I'm just wondering about the rooks. His queen's quite active. I don't suppose e6 is any good. He's going to take on e2 and this could get quite nasty. Hang on, there's queen e8 check. Whilst this bishop is there's congestion. Queen e8 check. If ed, his knight's protecting the rook though. But queen e8 check, king c7. Oh, that bishop g5 or e6. E6 looks quite tempting. But I'm skeptical of the position here because of this queen takes e2. Maybe e6 is okay. And try and get the bishop out later if it's not too late. Actually, I think there was knight e5 there. That wasn't particularly nice. Rook takes f7 or there's bishop d5. Rook takes f7. Or knight takes f7, bishop takes. So I get this out of the way. Rook takes, bishop takes. Well, I can take on f8. This knight's terrible. Bishop d5 first. Hang on. What does he do about that? It's a fork. Isn't it? I'll play that. I think. Not 100% sure. Okay. Okay, double pawns look pretty tasty. For knight g5 after. Now I've got weaknesses everywhere. Bishop b2, trying to hold on. Knight f2. Okay, if I lock down over here. Yes, attacking my queen. There's queen e8 check. King moves. Maybe that's useful. Tempo gain. There's bishop f4 maybe after. Right, I think I'm getting dismantled here because f2 I'm losing the exchange. I'm losing the exchange whatever happens. This is going to be painful. Oh dear. Bishop f4. try and get some c-file action and eliminate e5. So knight g5 here hits f7. Yeah, these French defense games are not going particularly brilliantly. Knight f4 here just loses material. Black seems incredibly solid there. That knight was just too annoying. I'm playing for bishop d4. Prepared to knock out that knight. Knight f4 here seems playable for a moment. So what's happening on this bird's eye view? Right. Rook went there. There's rook c7 here. Nice infiltration, surely. If bishop c6, knight e6. Right, he's getting a passed b pawn. Passed pawn. Which passed pawn is worse? Maybe bishop d4, just trying to go for his king later. That bishop and pawn is not a nice combination. Alright, he'll weaken e6 if he takes here. Is that useful? Or f5? I'll take that. I'll take the piece here. Aha. Okay, queen g4. Maybe. Just to see what he does about e6. He can, yeah. And trade off one pair of rooks. He hasn't got too much play here. And then bishop d4, try and weaken his king. There's also rook e7 on the cards. Alright, my f3 is attacked. So time to take on e5. I think. Rook f5. Knight h5 threatens mate. g6, knight f6. Alright, okay. I'll keep the pressure here on f7. Now queen e3, there's rook e8. So unfortunately, I'm going to be very careful here. Queen d2, knight b3, queen d1, bishop a4. This might not have a happy ending because I'm losing that dark square bishop. I didn't want to lose that dark square bishop. Queen d2, knight b3, queen d1, bishop a4, queen e3, rook e8, bishop c5. I lose the horrible dark square bishop. I mean, face that one. It's less at evil time, or unless rook e7 here, queen sack. He takes rook g7. That works. Rook e7 might save the day here. Yeah. So king takes, or bishop takes. If I go back here after without allowing any checks. Alright, so I know, knight g3 just to try and evict that rook, to try and get this f file. Yeah, there's queen d7 check here. I'll just get an important tempo. Alright, there's rook takes f7. That doesn't probably work. One. You get 3 pieces for the queen. Yeah, my pieces are loose after it. I don't think it's working particularly well. But I can't see what else. So taking, king f8, knight takes, got queen takes c4. And then what? I've got these 2 loose pieces. Maybe I take on d7. So I can't. Okay, I'm going to have to do that. Okay, I'll take here. Well, bishop d3 looks good, actually. What does he do about g6? Alright, so I'm going to get a tempo with this. Now, okay, I can evict this queen. Anything better? e7 is not particularly clever, is it? Knight takes queen d8, bishop e7. Okay, I think I've got to kick this queen away. If takes rook b1. Oh, he's defending now. I'll put more pressure on f7. Get this knight into the game. I'll take this guy. Right, get that f file. Try and get that f file. Okay. Simplify. Now queen e3, rook e8. So some of the same sort of stuff as before. So that's pretty bad, isn't it? Queen e3, rook e8. Queen d2, knight b3. It's the same stuff as before. I'm going to have to give up this. He hasn't accepted the queen sack. Right, if I play here, keep the pressure. There's rook d2, there's rook f2 trying to defend. Knight takes e5 here. Looks good. That pin, there's no major check. Knight or rook takes e5 is possible. Knight takes queen d8. Rook takes e5 might be better. There's queen b2. Queen b2. I knock out that centre pawn. Rook e1. Yeah, surely. Alright, let's try and get onto this file. I think rook e1. There's bishop d4. Alright, get out of the pin before that's too painful. My knights are not doing too much. Right, if I get the pass pawn going over here. Alright, reinforce. Bishop's attacking the rook. Can I not get a tempo? Oh, I've just allowed bishop e2. No, I didn't. Okay, I thought I allowed bishop e2. Alright, queen e2. I'm on e7. What about rook e1? I drop the knight. Queen e2 is probably better. Trying to get on to e7. Right, a4 for rook b5. He traps my queen. I was going to get the queen out of here, I think. Right, knight h5 or h4. Maybe h4 is interesting. If bishop e2, I'd take rook f8. Alright, I can try and get to e7. I'm hoping that saves the day there. Alright, protect this pawn first, or h5. Let me protect the pawn, or h5. Takes h6. That seems to be a winning pass pawn. No, it's not. No, I've got to protect the pawn. I've got to g5, h5 that first. So e6 here, he takes on f8. Trying to get this knight back in the game. He protects e7. Okay. Knight h5. Try and get rid of that. Bishop's a bit desperate, but no, I don't know how I'm getting to his king there. Knight e4. Knight e4 takes. Knight e4. Interesting. Okay, so g5 and h5. And get the queens off here. Queen b5. Get my king off this back row, but rook c2 looks bad. Or h5. Maybe h5. Right, if I play bishop here. Right, so h5 looks good for h6. Right, so knight e4. I'm hoping queen c4, knight d6. Otherwise I'm going to take here and get onto e7, I hope. Right, can I take that? He's got rook f8 after. Does it matter? Coming in with his rook and queen probably soon. I'll take a risk. He's got knight h4. No, okay, I'll take a risk. Take that. Alright, bring my king up here on dart squares. Or a3, he's got knight b4. Get the pawn over there, then knight g5. I think I'll get the pawn up. Alright, queen takes. Rook, unless rook takes does anything. Maybe rook takes is better. Knight e7, rook g5. Maybe rook takes. Right, so he's on f3 still. In front of mate. If I play this, I think he's got this. Takes. No. Elucidated. Okay, no. I think rook b1's possible. Isn't it? Pass pawn. Oh. Blimey. Is that the refutation of this? That's awful. If that's refutation, that looks like a refutation. I was looking forward to that one. Maybe here. It's queen d4, knight d6. It's not very convincing. So e6 or knight e2. What about knight e2 here? Okay, if I put my rook carefully back without losing it to f, queen f1, rook f3 also guards. Well, there's rook g5. Maybe rook g5 is quicker. There's queen f1. That doesn't matter. Alright, so e7 here looks good. Alright, c5. This is looking more and more desperate now. Rook e3. I want to play c5 without losing the rook. So he's going to be queening and stuff. This one. Okay, bishop. If I play this, try and nudge that way. h7 first. Then put the bishop knight g5 after on e6. Alright, again he's queening. I get this knight d6. I think that's gone. g4 gives me rook f7 potentially. Right, so did I just blunder a piece? I did, didn't I? Oh, muppets. I just blundered a piece. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh no. Oh, that was a shame. This check probably doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. I lost that one. I can try and bring my king in. If I take on e6, is that the end of the world? If I take on e6, rook e8's not working. This looks like just lost position. Yeah, that looks like extra queen. Time to resign that one. Okay, knight d8. Knight d8 possible? Yes, unfortunate piece lost that one. e6 here, then maybe g5 after. g5 f6. Right, I think g5. Keep the pressure on there. Right, I'm going to take this guy. Oh, I can take on g7 here. Right, if I take on e7, I might try and do something with this position. That was unfortunate. I had a nice position there. Try and bring the king up. And so what's happening? How many games? There's only 2 current games or something. Alright, was there some resigns or something? There's only this one and that one. So the one I blundered the piece, okay. This is a forced mate, isn't it now? Rook takes, queen g6 and bishop f6. So queen g6, bishop f6. Right. So there's this one where I've blundered the piece. try and get my king to do something. Alright, it's a blitz finish. So this is the final game in the Simul. Right, it's a blitz finish. Can I swindle it with king activity? Pretty unlikely, probably. If I can get these pawns off, though, to try and draw it. Try and attack the pawns. It's like a 15-second increment. A6. My king is blocked here. Can it try and go over here? Is it worth it? Actually, okay, hang on. If he plays a6, knight b4, his bishop be here. It's not much. Well, the king can go to g4 if bishop b7. Try and get the king over there. That's not out of the question. Alright, so he plays bishop b7. I'll try and get my king over here if he's weakening that g4 square. He can actually play this because taking, he's got bishop b7. So I'll probably move my knight to d3. Okay, get my king over a little bit. Let's see. Any chances at all here? It's a pawn for a piece. Where can this knight go? I think he gave me a hard time in the tournament the other day, so I think that's so this probably isn't too clever. I have to be a piece down against this guy. I'm pretty sure this is over. Can I do something with the pawns? B4. Can I do anything with the pawns here? B4, A4, A5. Just wondering if I fix the pawns. Knight c5, it's still futile. He's going to be hitting d4 soon. Alright. No, I'm losing a pawn here. If I'm not careful. No, I am losing the pawn. I think that's pretty much over. Knight f5, knight f3, it's not good. My king's locked out of e3. I can't use e3. I can play this to try and defend the pawn for a moment. Or maybe there's knight g5 as a cheapo trick if the bishop wasn't defending the knight. If it moved, then knight g5. Okay, maybe it's worth carrying on for a moment. He's got knight b4. Is he going to let my king go over here? Can I defend a2 though? Alright, let's try and stop knight b4. His light square bishop. Surely this can be a target for the light square bishop. My king could probably go over here. Optimistically, I don't think is it or is there a point to sort of putting it over there? I'll put it over here. Or over there. Over here. Yeah, I think anything's winning here. Knight g5. What can I do with the knight? Actually, if I can get the knight into here, That'll be interesting. He's in time pressure. I'm not sure. Is it the same person I played the other day? I'm not sure. He's in a bit of time pressure. I'll try and keep the pressure up. So knight g5. If I can try and get into the d6 square. Aha! There might be something now. If I can get into that d6 square. But what? Actually, it's kind of stranded there, the knight. There's knight e8 to c7. Could be a nuisance. Like that, I suppose. Knight c7 check actually threatens to win this pawn if he's not careful. Then that would be something. He can protect the pawn with bishop g2 or kick the knight. Oh. Alright, if I go for this one again, I'll knight f5. Oh, I do seem to be okay, it's check though. Hang on, there's a check. That gives me a chance to move the king without knight f5 winning this pawn. I can protect. No, I think it's gone there. Yeah. Knight b5 is losing. Knight d5. I don't think the pawns are really working out there. If I'm losing that pawn, that's probably like it. Unless that's probably. Hang on. Yeah. Okay. Knight f5 does seem to be winning. This is on the verge of resigning. I'm not 100% sure about resigning just yet. I'm nearly sure it should be resigned. Knight f5 check. I'm losing that pawn. Knight b6 after. Alright. He's torturing me instead. Knight c6 as well. Doesn't that just oh, he's offered a draw. Well, I'll accept that then. That's very generous. Okay. Alright. Yeah, okay. I hope you enjoyed that. That was fun, wasn't it? Yeah, fun. Bit of fun. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks. I might do that again sometime. Okay. Alright, see you later then. Thanks very much. Comments or questions on YouTube. I might upload it to YouTube.